From the great city of Philadelphia, you're watching the PLL on ESPN, powered by Ticketmaster. California meets the New York Islands on the campus of Villanova University. It's the Redwoods and Atlas to kickstart day 2 of week 3. Rookie Connor Shellenberger and MVP candidate Jeff Teat have the Atlas off to a 3-0 start. They're the lone unbeaten. They'll face an old friend. Chris Gray makes his Redwoods debut today. This offense at times to Mozart. Shot from the outside, it goes. That's Doc Sakin, who almost suited up to play for Villanova football. In fact, he came to Villanova during the COVID year, but there was no season. It ended up being canceled.
And what I love about how they're using Aiken is he's on the wing, so post-win, he's already out there. He has been lights out so far, 7 goals already on this young season, and his foot barely touches that 2-point arc.
Man from outside the arc. This is a young man who scored the most goals in Virginia history for a midfielder, and he has bounced back this season with a vengeance.
The Redwoods with the counter. It's T.D. Erlin coming up with the ball off the faceoff and beating Tim Troutner. We're tied at 1.
Baptiste's dominant so far, Quint. He hasn't had a matchup like Erlin at the stripe.
Erlin wins the clamp and goes forward and spins somehow, gets himself out of the wash, puts the ball on his chest to avoid the defenders, and then takes it to the heart of the defense. One thing you're going to enjoy about this matchup, Baptiste and Erlin, 2 of the best. They represented Team USA, okay? The 2 best. They both can handle the rock. They both can play defense.
Power play opportunity now for the Redwoods. Westberg circles around the crease. Pennell up top. Here's Chris Gray. First game of the season. Inside. It's good for Garnsey. 2-1 California.
Garnsey makes it look greasy no matter what happens here. He's got the ability to catch in traffic, sprawling on the ground, taking hits. It never looks clean. It's always gritty.
And this is a ton of trust between Pennell and Garnsey on this feed. You can see Rexroad 22 in blue just shade to the left just slightly. And Pennell jams it in there, knowing that if he throws Garnsey to space, he'll adjust accordingly. And his ability from a body language and body control standpoint to catch and finish as he falls to the ground.
Goals in the long history and the illustrious history of Johns Hopkins lacrosse. Garnsey with a short stick matchup. What a feed inside, and Kirst cans it. Young man playing with his dad and his thoughts today. The Kirst family, the story's been well told. Dad Ken, former goalie at Rutgers. It's Father's Day, and Cole Kirst gets on the board.
Kyle Kirst, a former goalie at Rutgers and youth coach in the state of New Jersey. He's got 3 sons playing in the PLL.
Camped in the middle of that Atlas defense. Pennell orchestrates from up top to Berg on the wing. Skip pass, Bertrand, power play goal, California.
Credit the Redwoods here with their ball movement, patient. They don't take an unwarranted risk here. And it's set up by the skip from Berg across the Degnan, plenty of space. It's so challenging, that 6-on-4, and you've got to be mindful of Garnsey in the middle. He's already scored once on the power play, and just too much space for these perimeter shooters.
They keep it simple. California has shown up. They have made notable upgrades across the board from their...
Garnsey maneuvers around Rexroad, fires on the run. Ryder Garnsey with 3 points in this opening quarter. 2 goals now to go along with a helper.
Get your hair cut every day of the week if you're Ryder Garnsey. He has been aggressive, he's been assertive, he's getting it done.
That little brush pick by Bertrand That gives Garnsey the leverage to continue his pathway, sweeping across the field. The key there is he goes from east-west to north-south. He gets his momentum going towards the cage before bearing it.
And Nat St. Laurent saying he's been outstanding through camp, and to step in and play the way he's played after not a lot of time, that's a big loss for the Redwoods on defense.
Meanwhile, the Atlas with the answer. 5-2, that's Jeff Teat, his first point of the game, league leading 23rd of the season, and Chris Conlon replacing Fake on that close defense for California.
Put more pressure on the rookie Chris Conlon. This is just a situation on a wing where Teat is known as a passer, just given too much real estate. The double shows up, it's a little late, but we label Teat as kind of a feeder, a playmaker, and little do we recognize that he's got major velocity from like 13 yards.
Yeah, he's such a high IQ player. He identifies, okay, how are you going to play me? Okay, you're going to respect my feeding ability. You're going to pressure me. Like, I can still go to the cage myself as well. Patient there by Troutner.
Costabile up ahead, shot, score. Peyton Rozanka.
It's a 1, not a 2. He steps in the line, but shots cooking at more than triple digits, 101 miles an hour. But Troutner's turnover created leads to this run out.
It's a beautiful lead pass there by Costabile, which generates the transition opportunity.
He's a Renaissance man, he can do it all. He's picking up a pole. Aiken all the way. It started with a toe drag, and Dox has his second.
I'm not sure California wants to get going up and down in this game against the Atlas.
No, they absolutely don't. The Atlas just have the horses in the midfield, led by Aiken with his second of the day. You can see the threat he is from 2. You've got to run out at him, but then there's just nobody behind the play. You can see Tevlin with the long pole, and then the recovery just isn't there.
Easy offensive weapons. Trevor can score, Kobe can score, and when they press up, hopefully we can have numbers around the arc, and we'll be able to do well from there.
That seemed to work pretty well. I don't know if you know this, but your coach, Kip Turner's in the booth, and he was singing your praises up there. What was it like being coached by him?
He's the best. He's an even better person, and was lucky to have him for 5 years. I love Kipper.
Thanks for that time.
Meanwhile, Danny Logan unleashed an absolute rocket off the ground to tie this game at 5. That's 4 unanswered now for the Atlas.
And it's another one in transition, Quint, getting up and down, going from defense to offense. They've got the young Bulls love to run.
The ability to share the ball on the perimeter there, just to matriculate the ball across the formation to the open man, the unselfishness.
Miles Jones defended by Isaiah Davis-Allen. Davis-Allen falls. Jones to Xander Dixon. A movie Kip has seen many times.
I've seen that in games. I've seen it in practice, and he finds his way open all the time. He is so impressive without the ball on his stick.
And credit Jones, who draws the slide and gets away from pressure. Earlier in this game, he was trying to fight through 2-3 guys. Here, he draws the attention of the defense, gets out of there, and wisely finds Dixon just floating to open space. He led the league in 1-point goals coming into it. He's extending it.
A little bit, and we need to get back to doing that.
Thanks, Coach.
Yes, ma'am.
Here comes Miles Jones down the alley. Jones cans it in. And a little sneer of cold command at the end as he and Isaiah Davis-Allen got in each other's faces.
Well, you saw in the previous possession, matched up on a short stick, you slide to him and he makes you pay by distributing the rock. Here against the long pole, you trust that one-on-one matchup, and Jones just makes him pay. And make sure that they know about it afterwards. But Redwoods have got to get cleaner in their defensive organization and communication. They've got.
How about this? It hasn't quite been make it, take it for the Atlas during this 6-0 run. The Redwoods have won 7 straight faceoffs, and yet, well, there is the end of that 6-0 run. Garrett Degnan got a piece of Troutner, and it goes in. And it makes it 7-6 for Degnan, his 3rd goal of the season.
Ryan, he's not shy, and we cover a lot of Johns Hopkins lacrosse games over his career. As a leader, he resurrected that program internally. As a player, nobody was more consistent. He scored in, a zillion straight games while he was at Johns Hopkins Blue Jay. He's older for his class. They gave him an extra, 5th, 6th, or maybe even 7th year. But the guy can shoot it. Self-made player who can rip it.
And that's exactly why the Redwoods drafted him. As some other guys, one of the more underrated defenders in the league.
Garnsey to Tevlin. Troutner can't make the save. The goal is good.
Nice little inside action here by Redwoods to free up Tevlin. A slick little underhand pass there by Garnsey, and Tevlin has the wherewithal to kind of throw one little hitch pump fake to get Troutner off of his line.
Tim Troutner almost made a spectacular save.
Oh, that ball just trickles in. Kind of brings back memories of yesterday's game with the Carolina Chaos, and you see it net cam. The entire ball must cross the entire goal line. It's got backspin when it first lands, but Troutner can't get there and actually pushes it over to the line. No! No! Those plays are like slow motion in your mind.
Teat sizing up Kirst. Teat flips it to the middle. Xander Dixon, the quick wrists of the Slim Reaper.
I just want to point out, it does not take Xander Dixon all that much space. So keep your eye on these two players on the interior. As Teat kind of operates, you're going to see Redwoods try to get organized with the slide, try to get organized. You just fall asleep for a half second, Quinn. You drift away from him just even for a little bit, and Teat's going to find him inside.
That's where California's got to work together as 6 defenders and a goaltender.
Aiken turned away. Long rebound over the head of Makar. Picked up by Arden Cohn. Gray steps into one. Penthouse Parm. Chris Gray, his first goal as a Redwood.
You got to love the up and down nature of this game, the transition elements. End to end, the roller coaster.
End to end action. It starts with a save on one end. Here's the cannon from Aiken from deep, and off the rebound, Cohen's going to pick up the loose ball and push in transition. Gray playing his natural position at attack. Adler helps just for a split second. Gray doesn't need a lot of space there.
The book on Chris Gray, coming out of Boston University, transferred to North Carolina, led him to championship weekend. Chris Gray is a great outside shooter. Much more velocity and range than you would ever guess.
Brian Costaville swirls down the alley. Gets caught up in a tornado of white. IDA had it. Now it comes back. Shellenberger off the scramble. His first tally, his first point of the game.
And he's walking gingerly after scoring there. He took a hit after a scoreless first half. Kind of a bang-bang play. But you can see him walking a little.
This is great defense, really, by California. What a double team. Right there, the pinch double team. Ball's on the carpet and just kicks the wrong way. But the ground ball play moved on immediately. You get that ground ball in traffic, you move it on. Shellenberger converts. He had a quiet first half. He's been banged up so far this summer, coming off an aggressive college season that saw Virginia play in championship weekend. He's taken a lot of pounding along the way.
No flag. Looked like Dixon may have taken one in the face from Connors.
He got one.
Now we get the flag. Jones for 2! Miles Jones going Hercules.
Ryder, first flag against the Redwoods all day, and it's getting wiped out. It's getting wiped out, so relax. Good goal on the play. Good goal on the play. We had a hold on Alice, gets wiped out. Or on Redwoods, gets wiped out.
Jones continues his strong season. This is his second two-pointer. You can see him lining that up Great anticipation by Jones and getting his body set before uncorking it.
15 yards, okay, that's what, 45 feet at 100 miles an hour. So you think of that.
Now runs away. Hangman with Cohen. Shellenberger peeks at the shot clock. Feeds to Teat, and those two connect.
Death by 1,000 wounds in these hung situations against this Atlas team that can slice and dice you.
Shellenberger's got his defender hung up, so a lot of off-ball movement. You're going to see Teat freeze it right here. He's going to be pointing across. He's just going to find a little bit of space right here. As Shellenberger surveys, you can see him staring back, like, how much time do I have left on the clock? Then he's going to reorient himself to find Jeff Teat. Teat, that overreaction there by Connors, that allows the space for Teat just to flash his stick, and that's all the space that he needs.
Now Rizanka, the Atlas want to run. Here's the Bulls stampede. They got a trailer. Camizio steps into one. That's a one. It's now a 12-3 run for New York.
In transition, you get the ball to Teat and you let him be the decision maker. And you could see the Redwoods, Smith was coming down, and everybody was worried about Smith from 2-point range. Teat's gonna look him off and find Camizio.
Bad shots get punished. An easy stop by Troutner. Boom, we're off to the races. We're out of here. At the other end, you pass to the wing, you cut hard to the crease, it frees up the trailer. And on the bench, it's all Atlas on Father's Day.
That courtesy of our statistician, Russ DeLynn. Shellenberger, bounce shot. Kelly never saw it. 14-8. The Atlas down 5-1 at one point have totally turned this thing around.
6-0 run here, and you look at it, Shellenberger's got 2 goals and an assist within that 6-0 run. Way more active in this second half. They're being scoreless in the first half, and sometimes, I mean, I know we're in the NHL playoffs, pucks on net here, Anish. Sometimes good things happen.
Yeah,
What did Edmonton score last night? 8 goals?
Look at that screen through a mass of bodies. Now your job as a goaltender, you got to see the ball. You got to find the ball in the pocket, off the lip of the stick, and in the air.
Just gets a piece of Bertrand's stick. He should have shot that a half second earlier.
Pennell working on Rex Road, and Rob Pennell, the savvy veteran, 34 years young, gets the best of Rex Road.
Talked about his arsenal and the depth of moves. This is one that I don't recall seeing. He's going to do a little split at X, and it's just a one-handed shovel scoop shot, using the defender a little bit as a screen, and he beats Troutner to the punch. He kind of catches him off guard. It's a low release, and the ball ends up in the top portion of the goal.
You have the ability to challenge it.
It's still a shot, and it was chased down by 12 and white Brian Tevlin.
Montgomery, Isaiah Davis-Allen, Pennell from the wing. Back-to-back goals by RP3.
The power of the restart.
Win the whistle, Quint.
They just win this restart. It's as simple as that, and they're in their position ready to go, and Mike Pressler's got to be a little concerned because either it was a substitution issue or a not getting into the hole issue.
You can see Rex Road, he hedges out and tries to get back to Pennell.
Listen, Q, a couple of years ago I had the long lettuce. When the weather gets warm, it's not fun. It's not fun.
You did. I remember that day.
Slam dunk. That is too easy for the Atlas. The lead is back to 5. Shellenberger with a smile as wide as the Delaware.
This offense is relentless.
Well, credit Shellenberger for just staying with this play. Second goal he's had that's come off kind of a bang-bang play. Aiken, I believe that was a shot. If Aiken gets the assist here, tip your stat keeper.
You drew this one up yesterday, Ryan, with the diagram, with that single invert the double comes and the defenses don't get the backside slide.
Hype to react.
No assist for Aiken. Look at the ball movement. Look at the ball movement. Set that to Ode to Joy. Set that to Mozart or Bach.
Slim Reaper from Shelley. There he is, a young man who grew up playing racket sports with his dad in Connecticut, transitioned to lacrosse, and the hand-eye coordination is next level. There's nobody who gets the ball in and out of the stick with more accuracy, more precision than Xander Dixon, the Slim Reaper.
It's just a classic 4-on-3 fast break. Baptiste draws the point man to rotate over, gets it to Shellenberger.
You can chuck small sample size after 4 games, Ryan. This is now clearly the team to beat. Berg gets one back for the Redwoods.
Just to finish your point, Anish, they were first in the league coming in today, averaging 17 per game, and they're sitting at 16. We just started the 4th quarter.
I remember talking to Brian Holman, Boston Cannon's head coach, after I watched the Atlas play their first game, and he said, "What do you think?" I said, "They've improved." He goes, "Well, they should. They've had 5 first-round picks over the last 2 years, and you're starting to see them reap the rewards of all the high picks in the last 2 years."
And Ryan, give Mike Pressler
in the league.
Dagnott starts from up top.
He can be hunting twos.
The rookie out of Johns Hopkins. Using the sub game. Bertrand with a head of steam. Jackpot.
Still plenty of time here for Redwoods offensively. This advantage got gained out of the substitution box.
I think it was Tevlin who does a nice job on the runoff. Be the left side of your screen. You'll see the aftermath is that 10-yard advantage.
This is far from over, especially with the Redwoods and the range that they have from the 2-point arc.
Clock reset. Jeff Teat against Conlon. Teat over to Molloy. Assist number 4 for Teat. First goal of the game for Dylan Molloy.
This is about the gravity of Xander Dixon. You're going to see some inside action. Freeze it right here. As Dixon goes down, he's going to do this sharp cut. You're going to get 2 separate Redwoods defenders go with him. That leaves Dylan Molloy all by himself. And if you've got that much space, Teat's going to be like, yeah, sure, I'll throw you the rock.
Ryan, what Jeff Teat is doing, 28 points in 4 games now.
What's amazing?
Shellenberger changing directions. Over to Dixon. Back to Shelley. Behind the cage. Teat up top. Jones. One more. Shellenberger steps into it.
That's just beautiful lacrosse, Quint.
Wow.
It's just beautiful ball movement, unselfishness. There was like 2 or 3 skips.
Everybody.
One more.
Miles Jones getting that ball out of his pocket. The ball reversal from north to south.
The ball is just whipping around at hyperspeed. Shellenberger is going to be the ultimate benefactor. Look at the excitement by Jones after that one more feed. Atlas offense is rolling, and the bench is loving it.
Right. Go with.
Inside to Teat. Jeff Teat, who had 11 points in the season opener, then followed that up with a 7-point and a 4-point performance. 8 points today with 4 goals and 4 assists.
And Connor Shellenberger's got 7 points in the second half.
This is a team that won 2 games last summer. They're on the cusp of winning their 4th to improve to 4-0. Their goal differential is climbing, and the passing to me has really separated this team from the rest of the league right now.
Kobe Smith, he'll launch, save Kelly.
Empty net.
Troutner's got to retreat into goal. Can the Redwoods get there? Nobody in the cage, and that's a 2 for California. So Troutner with the 7-goal lead took the chance, but he gives up 2 the other way.
Risk reward.
Yes.
The risk reward is just not worth it there.
You've got to be more disciplined if you're Troutner. I know you've got the athleticism, you got the excitement.
He makes the right play in the way he carried over and then threw it. But as soon as you release that ball, you've got to get back. And then your teammate has to know that you're vulnerable. This is not like the college game when you give up an empty netter, it's 1. This is a 2. It's a free 2.
Yeah, if I'm Gavin Adler, I'm hopping in cage. You've got 3 Atlas defenders all kind of around the crease. Get in there. Makar, Rexroad, get in there.
Does this get deflected?
Today, the Atlas have a goal differential of plus 16 on the season. Teat to the cage. A 9-point afternoon for Jeff Teat, who's up to 31 points on the season, only 13 shy of tying the single-season PLL points record.
Yeah, he's on pace to shatter the single-season record in the PLL. And this is one of those why not kind of goals. He goes underneath, and it's just super casual. I mean, it looks like he's moving in slow motion. You can see him staring off ball. That kind of freezes the defense.
Promising rookies. We know Brennan O'Neill, but Graham Bundy looks like a keeper as Chris Gray gets a tally. And Luke Weirman looks like a game changer at faceoffs.
Quinn brought it up earlier. The margin between the top and bottom team is thin. I think when you look at the early season so far, that has become razor thin. This Atlas team last year, 2 wins. Denver, 1 win. All of last year. Now you've got Atlas rolling. They're going to end up 4-0. Denver just beat the defending champs. So everybody's kind of shrunk down right now. They're all kind of packed in the middle. Atlas clear number 1.
Remain unbeaten. The only undefeated team in the PLL. They are now 4-0. They dropped 20 on the Redwoods. It's the best offense. They had a hot goalie today. Jeff Teat looks like an MVP, and Connor Shellenberger's the early favorite for rookie.